which are coming because of that kind of uh, that that kind of shift. Okay, so the discipline, it has also tried to cover those kind of issues. Okay, so what are the change, and how that change is facilitating, or they are causing many other kind of change in the different institutions or organizations. Okay, so we may find that when the industrial revolution it has come, or that movement was going on, you have seen that new kind of institution they have they have initiated, or they have been established. Okay, for example, uh, very popularly we said that the division of the family. Okay, so from a joint family to a nuclear family, again it is the response to that economic changes. Okay, so we are trying to cover the change which has happened, and we are also trying to uh, look into the institutions or organizations which are which are the result of that particular kind of change. Okay, and the different perception it has been uh, given. We have a different you can lens how to perceive, or how to analyze those institutions. Okay, so and like in French Revolution we have also seen that. Okay, so in the era of individual interest or individual freedom, which is obvious in that particular journey of that particular civilization. Okay, which will definitely happen, but that French Revolution is, it has facilitated, and it has also created that avenues where these kind of political rights it can be given, or it can be sought by the people of that particular society. Okay, so in the evolution of that discipline sociology, in that process you will see that these revolutions they have created different mindset to uh, uh, to analyze or to see the society in a different manner, or with a different lens. Okay, so prior to those revolutions, you can say that French Revolution, we were the society was happy with a particular kind of ruling process, or the particular kind of ruling system. When uh, that revolution it has started, or you can say, though it was not a you can say it not a movement which has happened in a particular uh, time span, on a short time span, it has taken a lot many time, or there is a particular procedure. uh, the French Revolution it has happened. So those kind of writings, or those kind of institutions, okay, so they have facilitated for the origin of that political thought process, that is equality, liberty, fraternity, etc. Okay, or individual freedoms, individual rights, citizenship, those kind of thinking process, or those kind of idea it has been inculcated among the masses because of that revolution, French revolutions. Okay, so those ideas, those political idea, it was there, but it was with some of the people, some of the thinkers. Because of that French Revolution, the idea was that is disseminated among the larger section of the society, or it was adopted by the masses. Okay, and going to the Indian scenario, we will see that. So, in Europe also, we have seen that the emergence of sociology, it was the uh, intellectual address to the social change, or intellectual address to the change which has happened because of these kind of revolutions, industrial revolution, French Revolution, or Renaissance. Okay, so they have tried to sociology it has given a different lens how to visualize those changes. Okay, so in conclusion, you can say that sociology was the uh, it is the intellectual response to the changes in the European society. Okay, and in Indian scenario, you will see that uh, as we have also discussed that the knowledge system in India, the sociological thought process in India, again uh, uh, that is the imitation from the Western thought process or Western sociological thought process. Okay, so there are many factors uh, it has behind this kind of thought process. Uh, as we have said that because we have been ruled by the particular ruler, you know, the ruling period was very vast. Okay, so and in that period you will say that those the development of that discipline, it has been more popular. Okay, so the presence of Britishers and the procedure they were adopting to rule the India or to manage that particular colony called India. Okay, so that has also impacted in a lot many ways to the Indian thought process. Okay, and we have also seen that mm, mm, there is a different ways to interpret the Indian knowledge system by the Britishers, you can say. Okay, and here uh, in India, you will mainly see that as we knows that sociology and anthropology, they go hand in hand, or you can say uh, the knowledge which has been created by the anthropologist, that is majorly used by the sociologist. Okay, so the emergence of sociology in India, you will see that is mainly facilitated by the British anthropologist. Okay, so the ethnographies they have done or the work they have done in India, it may be by the anthropologist or it may be by the uh, administrator, British administrator. Okay, so those knowledge, the created repository of the uh, Indian society or created a repository of knowledge of Indian society, that is being used by the sociologist. Okay, so uh, in India, you will see that they are they are the predecessors of that Indian sociologist, anthropologist. Okay, so how they have tried to visualize the Indian knowledge system, or they have tried to visualize the Indian society. Okay, so perhaps that perception, that is again adopted by the sociologist in India. Okay, like we will see that the classification of Indian people, okay, on the basis of race, the or you can say how they have tried to perceive the particular community, for example in the minority communities or the tribal communities. Okay, so their perception, it still exists in our sociological knowledge system, and that is popularly adopted and implemented by different sociologists or many thinkers. Okay, so British anthropologists or the British the administrators. Okay, so the knowledge they have created, it is again used by the Indian sociologists or the different other social thinkers. Okay, uh, and the Western thinkers, they also recognize or they also try to popularize the fact that sociology in India, it is immersed or it has got popularity because of a particular ruling period, that is you can say the Britishers. Okay, so they try to popularize that. Before that, the way discipline that the sociology discipline, it tries to analyze the different social phenomena, or uh, the different different institutions, okay, or organization. That kind of knowledge system was not there in India. It was their view. Okay, so they demean the Indian knowledge system, or they don't recognize the uh, presence of that social thought, or that ideology or knowledge that may be present in India. Okay, so mainly they try to popularize that because of the advent of a particular ruling group or the particular rulers, the Indian social or Indian sociology that has been developed, and that is they try to mean that the British anthropologist or the administrator, because of them actually uh, there is a writings on Indian society, or there is a some kind of idea we may get uh, of that Indian society. That is their view. Okay, so uh, but when we actually analyze the Indian knowledge system or Indian thought process, it is not totally true, or you may say that it is not actually true. Okay, because we knows that there are many social thoughts, valuable social thoughts are there prior to the advent of Britishers. Okay, so as they were suggesting that it is a, as the sociology is the recent subject, or it is a recent disciplines, you can say, uh, yeah, youngest social science, the social thought in India, that is again it is very younger than the European social thought, but that is not true. Okay, as we have seen that, mm, in India, we have many literature, we have many mythological uh, stories and writings are there, many scriptures are there, or you can say granthas, vedas, puranas, all these things are there which are very age old. Okay, so how can we say that the Indian social thoughts are very recent, or they are the new era, they are the recent ones? Okay, that is not true. As they are proposing, it is because of our influence the knowledge system has been created. Okay, so you will see that uh, there are or, you will see, first we will see the origin or the knowledge system which is present with the different religious group. Okay, so prior to those thinkers, that is you can say the British anthropologist or the British sociologist. Okay, prior to them, or prior to the advent emergence of sociology, those religious knowledge systems were there. Okay, and they have been there, and they have also tried to describe the society. Okay, as we have seen that uh, in sociology, what is the major objective of sociology? What is try to give you? Majorly try to gives you the, it analyze the social relationship, it analyze the relationship of individual with the society. Okay, so there are many dimensions of sociology that is present. Okay, so among them we try to analyze the different interpersonal relationship, or uh, individual relations with the institutions or the organization, or you can say largely with the state. Okay, so uh, you have also the example like in Hindu religion, the Manusmriti, or you can say the Manus Dharma Shastra. Okay, what is try to explain? Uh, though there are many critics are there on this Manu's Dharma Sastra or Manusmriti, you have seen that the you have seen that it tried to indicate the Indians or the Hindus how to behave in a particular situation, or they are just, the critic is that it is directives, just how, in which situation how to behave. Okay, what will be the actual, or the that you can say the ideal way of behaving in a particular situation. No, it is not like that. Okay, so uh, in a different way, if you are analyzing that Manu Dharma Sastra, you will see that again it is trying to uh, give you that analysis how institutions and individual they are related. Okay, how different institutions are there, what are the different social positions are there, and what should be the norms to those particular social uh, positions, or to those particular social status. Okay, so it is trying to describe you the society and the interpersonal relationship and the relationship with the different institutions or organizations. Okay, and that granthas or those shastras, they have tried to give you that picture of a traditional Indian society, how it was actually functioning, and how there are different kind of relationship was there. Okay, so uh, that points that was being popularized, that India didn't have any kind of knowledge system, social knowledge system, or social thoughts were there. That is again, that is not true. Okay, so uh, and another thing in those shastras that has been pointed out, that clearly they have tried to give in the importance to the time, space, and that is the social categories. Okay, so that has been seen that the dharma sthana kala patra. Okay, so uh, in Manu Dharma Shastra, how the different directives it has been given, that will vary on the basis of these four things. Okay, dharma sthana kala patra, it means the belief systems to those community you all belong to, it may be any caste, any social groups, or the time, or the situations. Okay, so that that variable was also mentioned, how in different situation these directives will work in a different way, or that may be applicable to the different category in a different way. Okay, so those kind of analysis, the minute analysis was also there with the Indian knowledge system. Okay, or you can say that kind of philosophical thought was also there in Indian society. Okay, and uh, you may see that or you may find out that there are many empirical studies were also there, or empirical based data was also there. Okay, you will see that like the Manu's Dharma Sastra, uh, you have also the presence of, you have also the knowledge system of Arthasastra, you have also the knowledge of Kama Sastra or Bastu Sastra. Okay, so Indian knowledge system, to many extent, it has gone. Okay, so it has the repository of the human relations, or repository of knowledge on human relations in various direction. Okay, like how to manage the finance, how to manage the interpersonal relationship. Okay, relating to the construction, like the Vastu Sastra. Okay, so again we have a very good knowledge system how to construct. Okay, uh, and that is, nowadays if you analyze that, that is more scientific, you can say. Okay, so Indian thought process or Indian social thought system, they are very age old, and they have some, not some, they have also the scientific values. Okay, so the different narratives are also there, like we said, the Manus Dharma Sastra, and we have also some kind of empirical based sastras or empirical study based uh, writings are also there. Okay, like you have the examples of you can say that is uh, Kautilya's Arthashastra. Okay, they are also trying to say that how kings regulations should be there. Okay, and they have also tried to give you the uh, mm, directives, like there should be census of the individual and also the livestock. Okay, and they have also tried to create, or they have also tried to advise the king. Okay, there should be the uh, there should be the consideration of different value system, different culture, or different traditions, or of a particular group. Okay, so you will say that these kind of directives or these kind of principles, they are clearly indicating that there are those arthasastra or those sastra, they have been framed by have some kind of empirical knowledge. Okay, without that empirical knowledge, one may not be that may not be in a position to advise to do the particular things in a particular way. They are the, they're advising to the king. Okay, so they have certain kind of empirical knowledge. Okay, and you have also seen that uh, uh, you have also seen that, like in the Akbar's um, Akbar's ruling, okay, or his dynasty, and his way of ruling particular society, that is again have some kind of empirical based knowledge you will find. Okay, so every part of a particular society in that particular ruling, you can say in that particular era, that has been included. Okay, so they have that particular empirical knowledge, or those directives or those shastra, they are trying to suggest those empirical based knowledge to the king. Okay, so uh, it cannot be negated that India didn't have that kind of empirical knowledge or knowledge based social thought. Okay, so first we have analyzed that we have a larger or the largest repository of narrative, or you can say the writings of different knowledge systems. Okay, the philosophical based writings, or the writings based on the Indian society. Okay, writing based on the Indian economic system, writing based on the uh, healthcare system, like writing based on the uh, mm, construction, like we said that Vastu Sastra, okay, or Dharma Sastras. Okay, so those kind of things were also present. We had that repository of social thought system or social thoughts. Okay, in second parts we have also seen that those dharma sastra or those sastra, they are not just written in a narrative manner, and they have the presence of some empirical data or empirical based knowledge. Okay, Okay, without having the empirical knowledge, definitely one will not be in a position to write such kind of shastras, or that knowledge may not be inclusive. Okay, so the directives we have seen, or the principles we have seen in those writings, those are more empirical based. Okay, and uh, these part we have covered that, ancient era of the India. Okay, so coming to the other part, that is uh, in the Arab Persian era, how social thoughts they have been developed, or what are the status in that era. Yeah, sociography in the classical and Arab Persian accounts. Okay, here you will see that mm, not only the rulers who have lasted for a longer period of times, you have also many travelers, you have also many that is the invaders who have tried to invade India, or who have tried to uh, know the Indian society or Indian knowledge system in a very short period of time, or their staying, or their interaction with the Indian society was very smaller. Okay, so they have also tried to create the uh, they have also contributed to the repository of Indian knowledge system, and they have also tried to create the perception of Indian society in other parts of the world. Okay, like we have seen that many travelers, they have taken back with them the idea of Indian society to the different parts of the world, like to the Greeks or to the China. Okay, so there are many from many parts of the world, different travelers, they have come to India, and they have tried to explain Indian society uh, with their language, and they have tried to not popularize, or they have tried to give idea of that Indian society to their world. Okay, so that is another part. So among them you have seen that uh, there are Greek travelers are there are Romans are there were Jewish, there were Chinese. They have tried to mm, traveled the India, or they have tried to explore the India. Okay, and you have also the Arabs, from Tours, from Afghanistan. Okay, or from there are some persons who are also there who have tried to explore the India. Okay, and the very famously you have also heard the Megasthenes of Greek, the Megasthenes, the Greek ambassadors. Okay, so the he has explained the Maurya dynasty, or the Maurya ruling process to their king. Okay, and the Indian society, the first impression he has given that is divided into seven classes. Okay, and that is not, he has not referred the Varna system. Okay, and he has tried to explain how different categories and different social class systems were there in India. Okay, so that is Megasthenes uh, perception. And you have also the Chinese travelers like Fayan, okay, and Yuan Chan. Okay, so they have tried to explain the socio-cultural tradition of India, and they have tried to give some valuable perspective on the changes in Indian society. Okay, how that particular Indian society at that time they are getting changed, and their perception they have tried to give. Okay, and some Arab travelers you have heard that Al Baruni. Okay, and his perception uh, on the Indian society he has tried to give in, and he has tried to explore the Sanskrit knowledge system, or he had tried to explore that uh, literature, how that is facilitating or that is trying to describe the Indian society. From that Sanskrit knowledge he had tried to perceive the Indian society. Okay, and he has also mentioned what are the different caste systems are there. Okay, and how the Varna theory that is working in India, and different kind of social lives and custom that are present with Indian people. Okay, so the- in conclusion, or you can say in total, he has tried to give a sociological analysis to Indian society. Okay, so uh, you can say from Arab, or from that society, belonging to that Arab society, he has tried to perceive the Indian society. Okay, or he has tried to know the Indian society, like what is the major source of Indian thought process or Indian social thoughts, and how Indian society that is classified, and what is the basis of that classification. That is, he has pointed out that the Varna systems or the caste systems. Okay, and how there are different social customs, traditions which are present with the Indian people or with the Indian society. Okay, so that kind of explanation has been given. Okay, and you will also see that from Morocco there are also some travelers are there, and uh, they have tried to cover the geography of India. Okay, and they have tried to locate, or they have also tried to know the socio-cultural conditions of India, like based on geography. Okay, what are the different socio-cultural life of Indian people, or you can say the daily life of Indian people that is being described by the some other Arab okay, travelers. And another thing, you must have heard that is Marco Polo's visit to India, and how he has tried to visualize Indian society, and uh, how it has tried to analyze the Indian society. Okay, so in Toto, you will see that from various part of the world, different travelers they have come to India, and they have tried to explore the Indian knowledge system or Indian thought process, or you can say uh, the interpersonal relationship, daily lives, or the stratification system of India. They have tried to cover all those things. Or the change in Indian society, like the Chinese travelers, they have tried to cover. Okay, what are the different changing process, and how different perception that has been given by the Chinese travelers. Okay, so it is not that uh, we were confined to those uh, ancient knowledge repository systems. Again, our knowledge systems or our society, that was the you can say that was the uh, hub of knowledge system, and again it is explored by the different travelers from different parts of world. Okay, so they have also tried to contribute it to the Indian knowledge system, and they have also tried to represented Indian society or Indian knowledge system in different other parts of the world. Okay, so it means the Megasthenes in Greek, you have they have tried to know the Indian society. or in Chinese society, or in Chinese world, you will see that they may have the idea by those travelers of Indian society. Okay, and in Arabs, they may also have the some ideas on Indian society. Okay, and you must have heard about the Aine Akbari. Okay, and that you can say that is a gazetteer which has explained the Akbar's code, its revenue systems, and its administrative systems. Okay, and uh, that can be said that it is the empirical study, which is the excellent example of a empirical study. Okay, so in that Aini Akbar, you will see that uh, uh, they have actually tried to cover all the parts of India. Okay, like we said that the ruling uh, structure, the court system, Akbar's courts. Okay, what are the different positions are there and how they are acting or how they are interacting. Okay, or the revenue system. Okay, and you will also see the administrative system, and again you will also find that in that Aini Akbar, or in Akbar's empire, they were also paying attention to some of the minority section, like uh, mm, the Ahoms and the Gand. These are the tribal communities. Okay, the Ahoms in the Himalayan regions and the Gands. Okay, so without that empirical knowledge, literally it is impossible to include all those minority communities in their ruling procedure, or you can say in that day to day political activities. Okay, they have also mentioned these smaller communities. Okay, and again they have not ignored the Hindu social organizations or Hindu uh, social systems. Okay, so they have also tried to describe all those parts, or uh, all those smaller parts of the Hindu social organizations. Okay, how how different perceptions or how different value systems they are working in Hindu uh, society, that has also been explained in the Aini Akbari. Okay, so that Aini Akbari, you can say that is a uh, that is empiricist par excellence. Okay, so that particular piece of work is, it is covering actually all of the parts or all the parts of a particular Indian society, the political system, the economic systems, or you can say the social systems. Okay, or the administrative systems. Okay, so all parts of a particular society that has been covered in that masterpiece. Okay, and that is again a empirical based uh, study, or empirical based writings you will find. Okay, so these travelers and the writings of the different rulers. Okay, so it has also contributed for the creation of Indian social thought process or Indian social thoughts, and that has again tried to uh, carry forward the Indian knowledge system to the other parts of the world. Okay, and going to the next part, that is the socio-economic condition of India at the advent of British rulers. Okay, so we have also seen that because the socio-economic condition sometimes it facilitate the uh, particular thought process of a society. Okay. Mm, uh, like we have seen that Britishers, when they came to India, the major objective was to expand their trade, okay, or to expand their economic activities. That was their major objective, okay, to facilitate that expansion, or to expedite that particular action. They were in need of doing some homework, okay. So like for example, whenever we are doing some certain kind of research work, we are trying to map out that particular area or particular universe, okay. What are the different resources are there, and how that resources can be useful for us, okay. So that kind of homework they have tried to initiate when they arrived in India, and when they were in a mood to expand their trade and fare, okay. So they have literally uh, done the studies on Indian people, okay, or the uh, attitudes, temperament, psychology, uh, relationship, interpersonal relationship, all those things they have tried to figure out, okay. uh, like to know the people, they have done many, you can say, anthropological studies they have done, okay. What are the different groups of peoples they are living in India, and what is their social systems, okay. So those kind of writings, or those kind of you can say uh, those kind of studies that has been done by the Britishers, okay. So you have seen that uh, how Indians, or how Indian society that were being perceived by the Britishers. Uh, uh, you will get to know from Gopal Haldar's study, or his opinion, on his opinion, like economically, India was mainly agriculturally based, agricultural, and the tools or the implementation, it didn't register any remarkable change uh, through the time, okay. And the arts and crafts that are mainly concentrated, or they are mainly connected with the poorer section of the society. And so he has tried to figure out that how the Britishers, or the how European society, they have a perception on Indian economic system, that is, the major economic source was, or the major livelihood source was, the agriculture and agricultural allied activities, that is art and handicrafts, okay. And that agricultural system, that is not technologically sound, okay. So you can see the agricultural system was that are mainly a pre-modern times agricultural system. It means it is also indicating that there may be the presence of feudal system, okay. So that kind of perception was there by the Britishers, okay. And socially, it has also tried to figure out that uh, mm, you have seen that, like the Henry Men's idea, okay, or Charles Metcalfe's idea, how they have projected that Indian village system or Indian social system, they are self-sufficient, okay. And they had also had an idea that Indian villages are self-sufficient, and you will see that there is a presence of caste system, and that is again providing the forum, or again providing the base of stratifying the Indian system, okay. So it has tried to explain Indian social system, that is that is the village community, they are self sufficient, and caste is the main base of stratifying the Indian society. And ideologically, india was uh, India was, you will say that, that is uh, the major idea that are being sourced from the religion, and the major idea that is present with the Indian philosophy, that is karma, rebirth, uh, and that is discouraged, which is discouraged in general. Like in the European society, the philosophy of karma and rebirth, you have seen that that are not popular, or that is not encouraged, because they have gone beyond of that. Okay, the scientific revolutions, or the renaissance, okay, or like you have seen that the political revolution of French revolution, the different kind of idea that has been generated by those three kind of revolutions. Okay, so the European society's ideology, that is different, and Indian society's ideology, that is based on karma and rebirth, that is different. So their idea was they're being treated as they're more orthodox and they are more conservative. Okay, so in British world, or Britishers, they have these kind of idea. Okay, how Indian society it is looking like, or how the political system is that, or how the ideological system or ideological belief system is there, and how the economic systems is there. Okay, and we can also say that when they have tried to conquer the Indian society, or they have tried to establish the colonies in India, you will see that uh, their main objective was to figure out what is there in India, and to create the group of individuals who will facilitate them in ruling process, or you can say who will try to support, or who will try to transmit the idea what they want. Okay, like in the process of ruling, some groups should be there who will try to transmit their idea to the masses. Okay, so those groups were the English learned educated people, Indian who have learned the English, or who are educated through English medium. Okay, so they have tried to create that group who will facilitate them, or who will be the mediator of their idea with the Indian people, or with the Indian masses. Okay, so and in this process, you will see that there is a uh, uh, there is a contradiction with the traditional Indian knowledge system. Okay, and the importance of English language, that was increased, or that was rose in that particular period of time. Okay, so whoever is learned with the English language, or whoever having the knowledge of English language, they are considered the a different kind of elite. Like the in a traditional Indian society, we have the caste elite, but when they started teaching Indian peoples the English language, so those English learned Indian people, they were considered as the different group of elite. Okay, and they were treated as uh, a separate section, which will actually facilitate the Britishers in their ruling process. Okay, or you can say we will transmit what the Britishers they want to convey to the masses, Indian masses. That is their idea. Okay. And in the process of expanding their trade and fare, they have systematically destroyed the Indian mm, economic system. Okay, like the overemphasis on the industries. Okay, you will see that the cottage industry, they were in lost. Okay, the emphasis on the uh, catastrophe. Okay, so you will see the different other grain cultivation that was being affected. Okay, so systematically they have tried to break, or they have tried to destroy the Indian uh, economic system. The system which were present prior to the advent of Britishers. Okay, that was gradually destroyed, or uh, mm, gradually decaying when they had tried to manage the Indian economic systems. Okay, like heavy taxation on the agricultural products. Okay, preference of the cash crop like indigo. Okay, and you will see less importance to the art and handicrafts. Okay, or when those industries they have advented, this cottage industry, they were at risk. Okay, and when some cottage industries or this artisan community, they were not recognized as the producers, or they were not included in the economic system of a particular society. Okay, so in various way they have tried to hamper the Indian economic system. Okay, and you have also seen that uh, these like the expansion of trade fair, again it has created that you can say a drastic change in the Indian system. Okay, like it has created a drastic change in the lifestyles of the Indian people. It has tried to create uh, different kind of materialistic construction, like construction of road, construction of railways. Okay, or the construction of bridge or industries. Okay, so there are many things which are being created, and the presence of those newly created construction, that has radically brought change in the Indian society, or the in the life of Indian people. Okay, for example, all of a sudden if you find a school in your locality, and that is again the teaching medium is not your local language, English local language. Okay, and some people they are being convinced to join in those schools. Okay, so there will be a radical change in that particular locality. Okay, like we have also seen that if a particular road is constructed, and that is the connection between the from a city to a village, you will also find a drastic change. Okay, there will be easy communication, or beside those roads, or there will be a new setups to facilitate that interconnection, or to facilitate that communications. Okay, so the physical presence of those different construction sites, or the institutions, or the offices, administrative offices, or different many kind of construction, it has created lot many change in the lives of Indian people. Okay, and it has also tried to uh, it has also tried to uh, divide the Indian people into in many groups. Okay, like the previous one I mentioned, that the English learned elite. Okay, so Indians they were being divided, that the people who are having the English knowledge, they are more closer to the ruling groups. and they have a different kind of status and different kind of living condition, different other kind of political facilities they are gaining. Okay, so again, Indian society, with the presence of traditional certification system, they have added lot many other forms of certification systems. Okay, on the basis of education, a society can also be divided or can also be stratified. Okay, so uh, like this, there are many source parameters or many source areas have been created by the Britishers to divide the Indian society, and that is again in return going to help them in ruling the Indian society. Okay, so that is one part, how they have tried to create the thought process among the Indian people, and how they have tried to divide the Indian people, and in return they will be more benefited. Okay, so here I will take a 10 minutes break. Again, I will start at 8:30. Okay, is it okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Hello. Okay, we'll start again. Okay, so we were discussing that how the British ruler, they have created a different section in India, which are going to facilitate them in ruling process. Or again, that creation is 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 contributing uh, another parameters on which Indian society can be divided, or it can be stratified. Okay, so that English mode of learning or English medium of learning, that has again created, you will see, a different section who are questioning their own thought process. Okay, so from that point, you will see there is a movement of there is a movement of various change it has came. Okay, you will find many reformists from that period. Okay, after having the knowledge of you can say, after having the knowledge of British thought process, or when they are exposed to various medium of inquiry of knowledge, or when they are exposed to various thought process, belief system, ideas and ideologies uh, by the Britishers, like because of that English mode of education, they got to know all these things. Okay, so the few sections of India, they were in that spirit, they asked uh, regarding the own knowledge systems, or they try to bring certain kind of change. Okay, so you will find some natives groups, they have the carrier of British knowledge systems, or you will say these native intellectuals. Okay, they have got the uh, methods to inquire about the society, uh, uh, to inquire about the society, and to inquire about the social institutions and organizations with a different perception. Okay, so from this point, the uh, presence of reformist you will find. Okay, they interpret Indian social system with those British knowledge system, you can say, or they have their own perception. They have adapted the British knowledge system in their own perception, and they have tried to inquire about the Indian society with their own knowledge. Okay, for example, we have seen that Raja Ram Mohan Rai. Okay, question on sati pratha, question on early marriage, question on widowhood. Okay, so uh, they have tried to inquire about, they have tried to question over the own society or own social organization, institutions, etc. Okay, so that British knowledge system, or that English mode of inquiring knowledge, that had created another native intellectuals who are trying to bring change in India, that is again positively. Okay, who can create certain change in India uh, by different applying different kind of knowledge systems. Okay, it may be, we will see that there are three approaches are there. Okay, to look into the Indian society and culture by the Britisher, that are divided into three categories. Okay, one is the Orientalist, and second is the you can say the administrative, and third is, you can say, that are more belong to particular community, particular institution, that is religious institution, the missionaries. Okay, so one is that is the Orientalist, second is the administrative, and third perspective, that is of the missionaries. Okay, so these categories have the different perception or different view regarding the Indian society. Okay, so what missionaries they carry about the Indian society. Okay, so their source of knowledge, that is from the Indian traditional writings or Indian traditional scripts, you can say. Okay, like from the Vedas, Puranas, or you can say the spiritual traditions, okay, or mythological traditions. From that, they will try to perceive the Indian society. They will construct the idea on Indian society. Okay, and e- in the second category, that is the administrator, uh, you will see they they have a particular they want to create that particular idea how Indian society that is functioning, that uh, they have that idea that this society that is more static. Okay, and that stagnation has its own causes. Okay, so there may be various causes of that particular stagnation. Okay, and they try to these Britishers, again we can say that uh, uh, they are the person who have got, or who have been trained with the British idea of inquiring the different knowledge system, or idea of inquiring the different problems. Okay, so they have their own way of inquiring the uh, Indian society, and uh, they are they're more, you can say, they will say what is there in Indian society. Okay, like we said that the knowing the Indian society, how different communities are there. Okay, so moreover, they want to study what are the different things they are present in society, and they will try to describe those static things, or those systems, or those organizations with their own views. Okay, for example, Indian society, the whole totally they will describe it as a more orthodox and conservative. Okay, because they will try to compare that Indian society with their own society. Okay, so they will create those parameters to establish that view with their own knowledge. Okay, with their own values. Yeah. So uh, that will definitely vary, and that will there will have a presence of that British thought process. Okay, and like you will say that they will try to impose it as, that is superstitious Indian society, that is more superstitious, that is abusive kind of thing, or particular religion that is more popular with that superstitious belief, or that is more abusive on a particular gender group. Okay, so that kind of belief system, or that kind of perception they will try to create. And third group, that is missionaries. Okay, so they they have, again they are also biased with their own religious belief system. Okay, so they will try to create what are the different socio-cultural practices are there, and by bringing that socio-cultural by changing that socio-cultural practices, this community may be advanced, or this community may get some kind of change. uh, uh, they may be uh, they may be shifted to the another phase of development or another phase of change. Okay, so the socio-cultural change they majorly want, and the only medium they have preferred, that is the conversion. Yeah, through conversion, the status of those Indian communities or the Indian people, that will be changed. Okay, so uh, these are the basic idea or the basic perception. These three category they have got. Okay, so one is that is the Orientalist. It means how the society has been described by the Indians in their traditional scripts. And second is the administrator, who have been trained with the British knowledge systems or the European knowledge culture, and they will implement that kind of perception or that kind of perspective to Indian society. And third is the missionaries. Okay, the main objective of those missionaries is that is bringing change through religion, and the one way or the one preferred medium to bring that changes, that is conversion. Okay, so there are many examples are there how British administrators they have tried to create the idea on the Indian society. Okay, you have seen that there are many like perception that has been created by the administrator, that how Indian society is functioning. Okay, for example, like the uh, uh, Charles Metcalfe or Henry Mann, they have placed the idea that Indian villages they are more static or they are self-sufficient. Okay, so you will see that Baden Paul he has tried to break that idea, how those Indian villages they are not self-sufficient, or you can say, or they are you can say they are not confined to a particular geography, or they are not particular to a confined to a particular within certain kind of institutions or organizations only. Okay, you have seen that in his volume, that is Land System in British India, which was published in 1892. There he has described that the Indian villages they have the relation with the state also. Okay, certainly they cannot survive without the help or without interacting with the state. Okay, for example, the taxation system or revenue process. Okay, there are various ways of collecting the revenues are there. He has also tried to find pointed that uh, the village in Indian. Okay, so there may be other kind of villages are there. Okay, so the like the Metcalf and Henry Mann they have pointed that there are village communities are present, they are self-sufficient. But Baden Paul he has pointed that there may be the Royatwari village, there may be the landlord village. The feature there. Okay, if the villages they are self-sufficient, the communities they are self-sufficient, it means there can be a cohabitation of these two communities or those two groups, landlords and or the Raitwaris. In the same village we may find, but there are variations are there, which Baden-Powell has pointed out. Okay, so there are many studies which have been done to break those kind of approaches or those kind of perception on Indian society. Okay, how the Britisher they have actually tried to perceive the Indian society. There are many studies that have been conducted to break all those perception or all those uh, to give the contrast argument against those kind of approaches. Okay, another point is there. What are the different views of British officials are there on the caste systems and on the different tribal communities are there? Okay, as we have seen that a French missionary, that is the Abbe Dubes. Okay, he has wrote a book in 1816, that is Hindu manner, customs and ceremonies. Okay, where uh, they have tried to describe what are the different kind of way of life was present in that particular time. Okay, and you will also found the work like the Indian recreations. Okay, chiefly the strictures on the domestic and rural economy of the Mohammedans and Hindus, which were published in 1806. Okay, so through these kind of writings, okay, they have tried to create certain kind of database. Okay, so made that kind of like the works they have done, and first kind of census they have done in 1861. Okay, and in 1901, Herbert Russell, an anthropologist, he has tried to classify the Indian community on the basis of uh, physical features, or you will see that he had tried to give a anthropological study or ethnographic survey on the Indian people. Okay, it means what are the different communities they are present in India and how they look like. Okay, so the writings which we have given as an example, like the customs, Hindu manners and uh, customs and ceremonies, Indian recreations, and the that is when the census it was done in 1861, and when uh, Herbert Russell he wanted to conduct an ethnographic survey on the Indian people. Okay, so these kind of writings or these kind of ethnographic study, they have tried to create mainly three kind of three kind of uh, you can say facilities they are going to create. Okay, one is the they are contributing uh, they are contributing for the uh, to solve the many problems, European problems, or you can say on the basis of these kind of available data, Europeans or the Britishers, they may have they may have developed certain kind of, you can say, uh, solutions to many problems, like how to rule the India. Okay, what are the different categories are there? The ethnographical survey, it may have provided that kind of view. Okay, so in which parts of the country what kind of community they are residing, or how these community are populated in different areas. Okay, for example, that ethnographical survey, it will it it would have definitely suggested or explained what are the community where they are living and what is their political strength or economic strength or social strength is there. Okay, so it will facilitate the British administrator to impose certain kind of their political or administrative rule. Okay, how to rule a particular section, and those knowledge on the Hindu culture or the Mohammedan culture, that will again provide another base how to divide that particular two communities. Okay, or how two communities will be served with different kind of law and regulations. Okay, so that kind of thing. So for the solution to different uh, European problems, these kind of study it is facilitating. And second category is that second kind of facility it is giving, that is it is also uh, trying to collect, document the different kind of uh, belief system or different kind of primitive culture, primitive lifestyle. Okay, uh, prior of their that is you can say disappearance. Okay, so they try to do that documentation process, like the Hindu ceremonies, customs, manners, Mohammedan ceremonies or customs or manners. Okay, so that is just the documentation of those primitive kind of way of life. And third kind of facilities it is providing, that is that uh, the legislative, judicial uh, facilities to the Britishers. Okay, for example, they may frame or form a particular kind of commission on the revenue system, on the famine, okay, or on famine relief, okay, or they may frame certain kind of committee or commission to control different kind of movements, different kind of diseases, etc. and etc. Okay, so third facility is that is administrative facilities. Okay, it will certainly give that kind of advantage to the Britishers. Okay, so in conclusion you will see that that is providing a base to divide the particular society and to rule those that society smoothly. Okay, so uh, these kind of studies that is facilitating the Britishers to rule over the society. Okay, so we have seen that uh, the idea of Britishers, British officials, okay, that has a you can say that is just to have a knowledge on particular community, not beyond that. Okay, and in the next part you will see that how there is a growth of different associations and institutions which were promoting the social inquiry. Okay, in the previous part we have seen that uh, like when the Britishers they had created a group of English learned people. Okay, so from that part you will see the reformists they have been more you can say they're more interested to inquire about the own knowledge system or own society. Okay, here you will see that how the individual initiative or the group initiative they have created that mind of inquiring the society, or of inquiring, or you can say to question your own society or to question your own existence. Okay, not going with the flow. Okay, or to know the flow. Okay, and to know the each part of a particular society. Yeah, so that kind of idea, that kind of inquisitiveness that is rooted or that is inculcated uh, by the Britishers, and you can say uh, by the scholars, Indian scholars, who have been greatly influenced and affected by the British inquiry systems. Okay, some were the scholars who have not gained that English mode of education, but uh, they have been more aware, and they are more affected by those British knowledge system. Okay, so here we will see that uh, there are many reformists which were uh, whi- who have started their uh, thought process, or who have started their inquiry process by establishing certain kind of organizations or associations. Okay, they have also tried to promote or uplift their own society, it means the Indian society, by uh, implementing different kind of methodological inquiry. Okay, like the comparative study, or like they have done the comparative mythology. Okay, they have tried to encourage the Indology, they have tried to encourage the comparative philology. Okay, and they have also tried to promote the Indian history and Indian anthropology. Okay, uh, these kind of these kind of inquiry, or these kind of emergence of the mode of inquiry, this mode of inquiry, new mode of inquiry, they have tried to create those new institutions. Okay, and there are many academic association uh, which were which have given interest for these kind of inquiry. Okay, so one of the academic association which were started in Bengal in 1828. Okay, under the inspiration of Henry Derozio. Okay, there you will say that you will find the Parisian Mitra, Dakshina Ranjan Mukherjee, and K.M. Banerjee, and they have tried to inculcate that inquisitive mind, or you will see they have tried to create that kind of questioning spirit among the masses. Okay, and they tried to create that institution by taking the membership of literate Bengalis, or you can say those who are more learned, and they have the knowledge on contemporary philosophical issues, as well as the uh, social institutions, and different other kind of social uh, activities. Okay, so they have tried to work on the issues like uh, general knowledge on the issues like you will find prostitutions, or you will find the widowhood. Okay, you will also find they have also tried to inquiry on uh, female education. Okay, or you will also find work on the Hindu widows. Okay, so there are many issues which have been taken up by these uh, change makers, like Rammohn Rai, or the groups they have tried to establish certain kind of academic associations. Okay, and there are activities like uh, activities by the different reformists. You will find uh, Swami Vivekananda, Dadabhai Naroji, Lala Lajpat Rai, Jyotirba Fulle, and Ranade. Okay, so these reformists, they not only in Bengal, they have tried to create that inquisitive mind, or they have created try to create that Indian intellectuals and Indian self-aware communities. Okay, we will try to build up the Indian knowledge system by questioning uh, in a logical manner, or rationally you can say, or uh, by creating the knowledge with own kind of methods, or with own kind of mm, the knowledge system they have tried to they have tried to establish. Okay, that is one point. Okay, and secondly, we'll say that in Bengal itself, or in Calcutta, there is a rich heritage of intellectual discussions, or intellectual that can say publications, you will see. Many association institutions, they have been found in the Bengal, and there are also the 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 publications are there, okay, by different societies. Okay, like Bengal, in Bombay, you will also see that in 1929 there is a journal which was published, that is Transaction of the Literary Society of Bombay. Okay, uh, that has tried to survey the small towns. Okay, for examples, some empirical study that were being taken up by those society. For example, the life standard of the slum areas. Okay, the housing pattern or the housing issues of the slum areas. Okay, those kind of issues they have to. Okay, and another kind of publication, you will see that Madras Journal of Literature and Science, which was started in 1835. Okay, and they have tried to publish the ethnographic studies uh, on the surveys of cities and villages. Okay, so in Bengal, we have seen that they were more working on the different uh, social issues. Social issues, a smaller social issue, like the customs and traditions, uh, widowhood, sati pratha, female education, these kind of issues. Okay, but in Bombay, you have seen that they have started working on the society itself, the macro aspect it was being given, the ethnographic study of particular town, particular village, these kind of initiative they have started. Okay, and in after 1861, okay, there is a popular activities. You will see, you have seen that they have tried to do the ethnographic work on the different social program. Okay, so there was a paper on social progress. Okay, so from doing different ethnographic study on the village and town, they have moved to the different social issues. Okay, the Oath Scientific Society of Lucknow, they have uh, they have tried to publish a paper on sociology of India. Okay, and that is being presented by the Said Sarfuddin. Okay, so a society for sociological studies was established in Jaipur in 1869. Okay, so the inquiry on the society that is getting expanded in India by the different uh, associations or institutions which have been established. It may be by the academicians, or it may be by the some of the institutions they were being established by the reformist also. Okay, and after that, you will see there is also a establishment of Bengal Social Association, which was established in 1867, and between 1867 and 1878. Okay, and that is the objectives of those society. that was collect, arrange, and classify uh, different series of fact bearing upon the social, moral, and intellectual conditions of Bengal, and by such means to assist in the promotion of the measures for the goods of a particular country. Okay, so from establishing the sociological studies in Jaipur to the establishment of the Bengal Social Science Associations. Okay, so during this journey, we'll see that they have tried to expand the scope of Indian sociology. Okay, by picking those smaller issue to expanding the bigger issues or the macro issues. They have tried to cover, or they have tried to expand the scope of Indian sociology. Okay, so today we will stop here, and tomorrow we will take up from this point. Okay, the like the responses by the responses as reaction of the Indian intellectuals, and sociology in post independence. Uh, we will try to discuss these parts from the unit 1, then we will move forward to the next unit of this block 1. Okay, for today we will end here. Thank
Thank you, ma'am.